I honestly believe that under this head cover is the best value golf club of 2024, but potentially that I've ever seen. So much so, if you look at how much this head cover cost me from Bay Hill, it costs less than that. Hi everyone, my name is James Robinson, welcome back to this YouTube channel. Today we're talking about a tailor-made golf club I got for £54.99 from the guys at Golf Clubs for Cash. It's obviously second-hand, it is an RBZ Tour fairway. We're going to test it out here in the golf course, see if it's still good, see if it's still relevant, and so much so, we're going to test it against a tailor-made QI10 fairway wood that costs 6 times that amount. So without any further ado, let's get the label off. There's nothing more satisfying than taking the label off, is there? So we'll get that off, and we'll stick it just there, just there, so we know exactly where it is in case somebody wants to buy it. This was £77.99. I personally didn't feel like that was bad value either. So what is he doing there? So without any further ado, let's test and see just how good this fairwood is. Looking down at it, I think it looks phenomenal. If TaylorMade were to re-release this, I think it'd do really, really well. We don't see many of the white-headed fairway woods or drivers anymore, but I actually used to quite like it. I think this is the version just after the standard RBZ, which was preluded by the R15 and R11 and R9 and all that. So, one thing I remember about this, it was an absolute rocket off the tee, and if you struggle with driver, potentially it could be the one for you. Look at that for a ball flight, by the way. Quite easy to launch, and I think you can actually knock quite a lot of spin off this. That was a nice high fade just down the right-hand side. I have tested this for numbers already, so the secret is out. This is very good. It's honestly very good, and for the price, I'm starting to wonder, have I got a really good deal on a fairway wood, or did I overpay for the head cover? Although the head cover does go to the charity of Arnie's Army from Bay Hill, so you can't really say that you overpaid for that. Versatility wise, can we play a bit of a stinger with this? This reminds me quite a lot of Sergio Garcia for some reason, I don't know why, but he's really good at these shots. And that, fair to say, wasn't my best, but it is a fairway found, and luckily enough, it hasn't marked up on the crown either, so that wasn't my best effort, Chris, was it? Dave Harrison. I've done that a couple of times actually, but luckily enough it's not marked it up, so we're okay. And for that kind of money, you don't particularly mind, do you? Right, one more effort at that, and we'll see how this club does feature on the fairways and for numbers. That was the one we wanted. Right there. How much better can the new QI10 possibly be for the price when if you put a good swing on it, finally, that's the ball flight you get? Let's get down there and find out. So technology-wise with this club, it didn't feature that much back in the day. There's no real carbon on here, no multi-material design. It does feature a forward weighting because it is the low spin model, the stage 2 model as well. And we have that through slot speed pocket, which back in the day was a proper through slot speed pocket, wasn't it? 14.5 degrees. You can see it is set in lower, and you can see that it's pretty well worn on the face, but I don't particularly mind that for the price. £55 realistically. And we get a pretty good Rocket Fuel 70 gram stiff shaft in there as well. The one thing I would change is the grip. The grip has certainly seen better days, so I'd probably spend £10, £15 on a new grip. But if you do that, you have yourself a pretty nice club. And maybe give it a clean after my second shot, which was a duff. So guys, do me a favour and get in the comments below and let me know how much are you currently spending on your golf clubs. What's your set worth? Have you gone second hand? Have you gone somewhere like Golf Clubs for Cash? Have you gone eBay? Have you gone Facebook Marketplace? Or have you gone and got fitted for the latest and greatest and spent quite a lot more money? I'm in the camp of, if you've got the money and it's your main hobby and it's what you want to spend your money on, no problem at all. But I also love getting a deal. I love getting something a bargain. I keep punching the head cover, we all know what's under there for a bargain. There's also some other brands out there where you can get brand new golf clubs for a little bit cheaper. Cali, Kirkland, Tacomo. But I still think I love getting something where I think, you know what, when this was new, it probably cost £250. I think it would have done as well, the RBZ, back in the day. And the new QI10's even more than that, about £319. Stay tuned for the numbers because you're going to find that very interesting indeed. I did. So when it comes to performance from a tee peg, I think a 3-wood, it is quite important that you can play it that way if that's a shot you like to play. If you don't like hitting driver that much, if you don't have a mini driver in the bag, and you like to kind of just edge your bets a little bit. Now we're going to hit some off the deck and see just if we can play nice, versatile, and hopefully forgiving shots. And remember, we're going to talk numbers in a second, and you're not going to want to miss that. 55 quid. Crazy. Right, nice low one. Try not to put too much speed into this. It's not going to be the most forgiving. But that as a ball flight is absolutely gorgeous. It definitely doesn't feel or sound as nice as maybe some of the newer clubs, but it's never going to. It's not got the carbon elements, it's not got the multi-material design that we've spoken about before. But I think there's something about that. I think when you strike this out the middle, it almost gives you a little bit more satisfaction because you know you've struck it out the middle and you know you probably had to strike it a little bit more out the middle. How consistent is it? Can we hit the same shot again? That's key, consistency. Wow. Wow, it's a little bit spinny. I've hit it a little bit out the heel, probably hit down on it a little bit too much, but that ball flight is everything that I want from this club. I want to be able to trap it down. I want to be able to play it low. Can we play a draw? I don't feel like it's set up for a draw, this club, but if we can. Oh yeah. Maybe that's the answer all along. Guys, let's jump in the studio. Let's see how this club does perform for £55 and test it against the latest and greatest offering from TaylorMade at 6 times the price. So when we come to talk numbers for this £54.99 3-wood, could this be the best value golf club ever? I'm a huge believer that the second-hand market is where you will find the best bargains, especially at Golf Clubs for Cash. So check them out in the link in the description below if you would like. We've already mentioned about the grip. We could do the new grip on here, but this is set at like 13 degrees. So if we properly get it, just how far could this 3-wood go? What's that I'm going to carry? I've not caught it that well. That's pitching 236, running up to 255 yards. And that was a Healy strike, 2000 spin, 150 mile an hour ball speed from a strike that came out of here. Now we're going to compare this to the latest and greatest offering from TaylorMade, and you could buy 8 of these, not that you'd want them, for 1 of the QI10 fairway wood. But a lot of people think these smaller headed fairwoods weren't very forgiving, and I think actually they were. I think they were quite good, and I've absolutely ripped that one. This is where if you are wanting to build a bag, you're not wanting to spend a lot of money, you can pitch a few 248, 262. Now that's probably 15 yards off my driver. Now you do get adjustments here as well, so for £54.99, I'm sure the guys would throw you in a wrench if you asked as well. You could loft it up, you could loft it down. This is in the kind of beast mode setting, and as you've probably seen already out on the golf course, if you struggle with a driver, then this could be the perfect club for you. For me, RBZ was just about the time that TaylorMade started absolutely nailing it with their fairwoods. That's another good one, a little bit toey, so it's turning over, and that one's a 240 carry, 248 total. Spin jumped a little bit on that one because it wasn't the best strike, but it was this one, then the M1 and M2, where I think TaylorMade really came into their own. Before this would have been the R15, Chris, would it? I think it would have been the R15. They just started going into the white heads, didn't they? So for me, oh no, it was a standard RBZ, the green one. Yeah, so this is the second generation one, and I think there's so many good bargains out there to be had. And look at that. Really opening the shoulders up now, and they're all going a little bit left. That's probably the characteristics both of my swing and of the club, but consistency-wise, it's 260 yards again, good ball speed, good spin rate, so it's holding in the air. Let's hit one more, then let's test it against a QI10, which, as we know, is very, very expensive, and TaylorMade have done away with the V-Steel. Well, they haven't, but it's very, very controversial, and it actually looks a lot more like this one does here. So let's remember these averages. It's around 250, just short of carry, and that one has to be massive. I've hit that so good, it's fading back nicely. 245 carry, we'll say, 248 carry, 262 yards total. Guys, let's test it against a QI10, and let's get back out there and see if this really is the best value golf club I've ever seen. TaylorMade QI10, and this, as you can see, is fresh out of the wrapper. This is going to set you back £309, and that's if you get a good deal. Now this does look fantastic. You can tell that it's a lot more modern than the RBZ. You can tell it's going to set you back a lot more money. We've got that carbon crown on here now. So realistically, what performance enhancement would you want to see from this as opposed to the RBZ? I'd want to see at least 5 to 10 yards more. I'd want to see more accuracy, potentially more forgiveness. Okay, straight away that did feel easier to launch. You can see it's gone a little bit higher. Spin rate's going to be a bit higher as well. And that's pitched just next to the RBZ. So definitely a more attractive ball flight straight off the bat, but numbers wise, just very, very similar. Spinning at 3,000, 155 ball speed. Let's go again. Head wise, I think this actually looks really, really nice. It's quite elongated. It looks a lot more forgiving. And I've hit that really heely. If this goes past the RBZ, which I don't think it's going to do, maybe just 246 carry, again 260 total. A totally different sensation. When you start adding carbon onto golf clubs, you do get a different feel, you get a different sound. It definitely feels nicer. We've got the speed pocket in there as well. But performance-wise, how much difference are we seeing? This is obviously an upgraded shaft as well. It's a Ventus shaft. Well, I've hit that really bad. And it goes to show that it doesn't matter how much you're spending. If you hit it like that, nothing's going to look at the replay. Oh, that is terrible. We'll discount that one for the numbers because we didn't hit one like that with the RBZ. But, come on, let's see how it has. It didn't say ready. I was over keen, Chris, I think you could say there. That was the best one by far, Chris. Always the case, isn't it? That was a terrible strike. And that's the one where potentially you're paying the money, although it still robbed us of quite a lot of distance. It's only pitched 10 yards, and it's, I think if I was spending this amount of money on a fairway wood, I'd want that strike to be as good. I think that's what I'd potentially want. You're not going to see an infinite different distance. So guys, really interesting numbers there, and really more consistent numbers than I would have anticipated. Yes, this is the low spin model and the QI10 is the kind of more forgiving model without the adjustability as well. But for that price, I don't think you can go wrong with this. So this is one of the hardest holes on this golf course. Very difficult to hit the fairway. We have one chance and one chance only. Is this one of the best value golf clubs you will see this year? And it's more than 10 years old. Get in the comments and let me know. And apart from that, I'll see you all at the same time tomorrow. That should just about set up a birdie opportunity. Head cover stays, by the way, as well, for $70.